We're here today talking to David, seeing how his pumpkin patch did. We did a video last year and now we're checking out this year. So how does it look this year, David?
Well, the pumpkins are about 3 weeks later than last year. My biggest pumpkin today is 140 pounds. Last year at this time, my biggest pumpkin was 500 pounds. So just a late spring. Even though I had them started inside 14 days earlier than last year growing, it took 2 to 3 weeks later before I could put them outside, and they got stunted so bad it took them a long time to get going. So it is way behind last year.
All right, where's your best one right now?
Well, I'm hoping the best one will be over there on the other side of the fence. The fence is put up to keep the wind from knocking the leaves around. Years past, before I started with the fence, Mariah, the wind would come through and destroy a lot of the leaves and break the vines off, so I went to putting up this fence up for the wind to stay out. So that one over there, I'm hoping will be my fastest growing pumpkin. It's at 140 pounds today. It's gaining about 11 pounds a day. I'm hoping this next week, if it gets warm, it'll get up to 20 to 30 pounds a day to catch up to where it needs to be. Because I've got about, I figured 45 days of growing really left. So if I've got 20 pounds a day, I could get 900 more pounds onto that. So I could get to 1,000, 1,100 pounds.
Why is that growing better than all the others?
Well, if you were to look, it's hard to see through the fence, but if you look closer, that has about twice as many leaves as the other plants here. And the leaves are much larger. Each leaf is a large dinner plate. And that, all the leaves is the engine that pushes nutrients. Photosynthesis in the leaves goes down the leaf into the vine. The vine is feeding that pumpkin to make it grow. So it's all about leaf area, and that has the largest leaf area. The one right next to it is almost the same, but I've had trouble getting a pumpkin set there. I only had one set there about 3 days ago, so I don't think there'll be a lot of success. But it's hard to say. If we got a late fall, September was warm, it may very well do really well too. But right now I'm betting on that one over there. Even though that one, compared to this one in front of us, this one in front of us was pollinated June 13th. The one across the way was pollinated July 2nd. But it's the same size. And I'm sure by next week that one across the fence is going to be way ahead. And you can just see the number of lack of big leaves, lack of leaves anywhere on this plant, how slowly this one is growing.
Why? Oh yeah, this one here. What do you think that one's going to weigh out at the end of the year?
Well, you tell me what the temperature in August is and what the temperature in September is, and I can tell you what that is. I do know that the pumpkin probably has 70 or 80 days it'll grow. The actual fruit will grow and then it'll quit. You know, so that pumpkin over there on July 2nd, well, 80 days from now, you're going to get into the middle of September. So if we get a warm September and that plant keeps growing and it starts hitting 20 pounds a day, I'm still thinking I could get a pumpkin in here over 1,000 pounds, even though it's such a late start.
How far behind are you from last year?
Well, as I said, I'm about 350 pounds behind.
Okay. Yep.
And it actually, the one that was the biggest last year was set June 28th. That one over there was set July 2nd. But when that one last year set June 28th, it had twice the leaves on the plant that this one did. So it's not so much when the pumpkin was set, it was how many leaves there were when the pumpkin actually got set that'll determine how fast it grows.
All right. Yeah. And then this one over here?
Well, this one is the latest. This one started July 11th. It hasn't been on the plant very long, but as you can see, it's rapidly growing. Today it was 129 pounds, and it's on about 11 pounds a day. And it could very well put on a lot more. It's got a lot less leaves, but as this vine keeps going out, and these side vines keep going out, we get some heat. I'm hoping eventually this whole black area here, you see, will be covered with vine. Once I get leaves on this whole area, then you can see that I could really have a lot of manufacturing to push that plant.
All right. Well, that sounds real good there.
Well, Sherry just
so,
waved. I waved.
All right. Well, good update. We'll probably check it out in a couple weeks and see where you're at, David.
Great.
All right.
Let's do that.
Yep.